Mark,
Oh,
what's going on, brother?
how you doing, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you good. I got you good. You got me?
Yeah.
Perfect, dude. We're live. First thing I gotta do is
Hey.
ask you how you feel about Russell Wilson being in your division now, dude.
Oh man, I'm not that. I mean, we already got Herbert. You know what I mean? I'm not that. I'm not too. He's 33. I don't know, man. Like, we got Mahomes. What am I gonna? Yeah, there's nobody else that can compete like him.
Yeah, you can't argue it. But I'm curious to see what the Raiders are gonna do. I feel like they're like, oh man.
Yeah,
This
man. I
is
mean that the division games are gonna be epic. It's gonna be super fun. You know,
I
I'm
think
not
I
too.
think
I'm not too worried about Wilson. Like, I think if he was 28, 27, you know what I mean?
he's gonna I don't know, man. He's still got it in him. I don't know.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
see.
he's gonna be. No, he's gonna be legit. But I would be nervous. I think they're just gonna be good games. You know.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. Well, man, I gotta thank you for jumping on. This is super exciting to have you. And um, you've been a client of ours now, actually, since the beginning of the year. You
Yep.
you jumped on with Dippidi, I believe through Agent Fire, right? Is that how you found out about us?
Correct. Yep.
Awesome, man. Yeah, so I mean, been working together. I feel like the relationship's been great so far. You're awesome, dude, to even just chat with and hang out with, pick your brain. So it's been fun so far. But I really wanted to get you on the Real Estate Homies podcast because this is like laid back and a cool podcast where we can just kind of learn more about you, like deeper. I guess between the lines, right? Learn a little bit
Sure.
about your history because I think your history to me is a great way that transitioned you into the industry. And so I definitely want to start with that. But first, if you could, man, give me your spiel, give me your breakdown on everything you've accomplished so far in real estate. I know, but like, you may not want to toot your own horn, but it's some amazing accomplishments. So if you could just give a little breakdown of what you've done so far.
Sure. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm excited. You guys are awesome. I've already watched the few that you've done so far, and I think this is gonna be super fun. And you're killing it on Instagram right now, dude. It's so funny, man. You're hilarious right now. Um, so yeah, I got my license at the very end of 2016, beginning of 2017 is when I started practicing. And my first year, I sold 23 homes. Second year, I sold 32 homes. My wife and I were on a team with Keller Williams, and we did great. It was awesome, and just needed a change. So we moved over to eXp in 2018. It was just me and her, and sold about 40 some homes, me and her together. She became my transaction coordinator, and I did all the sales. And then we decided to kind of build out a small team, we had a low split. We didn't provide a lot. Brought on a few agents that we already knew, and in 2020 we sold 90 homes, 22 million bucks. Pretty good. We felt confident about it. It was great. And then in 2021, COVID hit, right at like beginning of you know what I mean? People started getting new jobs and new careers and trying to figure it out. And real estate seemed to be the place where people were going because it's $500 2 weeks. You're a real estate agent right away. So we decided to not only help buyers and sellers, but we had a platform and a vehicle to help agents really. So we grew the team from basically 4 producing agents to over 20 in a year
Wow.
span. In all of 2021, we added a Louisville market, a Nashville market, a Jacksonville market, and a New York market just with the home squad, and ended up selling last year. We closed out 238 units at almost 95 million. So
That's amazing.
pretty big growth. Yeah, we're just trying to
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
up.
massive and
Yeah,
quick, right? So
yeah,
so that
yeah.
can only mean that you've had some headaches. You've had some stressful days.
Yeah, man. I need to get the fail forward tattoo on my forehead because, man, yeah, you learn by messing up. That's the one
Yeah,
thing I know for sure.
absolutely. Do it like Post Malone, and, he's like, "Stay awake." You could get fail forward right there, you know what I mean?
Right, 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 right. Love it.
Yeah, yeah. But so what's cool though, I think about your background, and I think this might have to do with how your success has happened, is that you actually have a theater background. And I do want to dive a little bit into that and learn a
Yeah,
little bit about the history of that, and then see if we can figure out and pinpoint how it's helped you with your career so far.
sure. Yeah, I went to musical theater school, and when after high school, I was 18. I moved to New York City to be on Broadway to do to I could sing, I could dance, I can act, and I did that for 20 years, actually. In New York, I did Broadway tours. I worked on cruise ships. I worked regionally. I worked everywhere. So that's what I did. I made a good living doing it. I wasn't a side hustle like that. I was a professional actor, made good money doing it. And then in 2012, and that's why I met my wife as well, Sarah. She was we met on a show. We did the Wedding Singer, the Broadway tour. So yeah, man.
Were
So
were you Adam Sandler?
no, man, I was Glenn Gulia. I was the bad guy. Which is funny now because literally he's in stocks and a businessman. That was so far from where I was. So now there's actually a song called "All About the Green." That's about making money and doing stuff, and it's so funny listening to it now. It's so wild. But
It's like, whoa, this has become me. This is crazy.
yeah, it's insane. So
Only not the villain. Only not the villain.
right,
Not
right,
the
right.
villain.
I'm not such a jerk, right? So 2012, we moved to Orlando. We were still actors. We wanted to kind of start raising a family. We didn't have any kids yet. We knew we wanted them, and we wanted to do it somewhere not New York, to be honest. So moved to Orlando, started working at Disney. They hired us as actors. We were in Finding Nemo, the musical, Hoop-de-Doo Review, and I did Beauty and the Beast, the musical as well. And it was fun. It was great. We really enjoyed our time there. It was really, really a happy place. But we just realized that there wasn't a lot of growth, and it was somewhat fleeting. Every year, you'd basically get renewed if they wanted you to come back and do another year. And after about 3 years of that, I started to get anxious. We had our first child, and I always thought about real estate. Even when I was in New York, I took a class, I think, at one point, and it freaked out because I wasn't going to go all in. So, and it's intense up there. So I said, I'm not going to do real estate unless I can really focus on it and commit to it. So in 2016, I was just kind of standing at the stage at Finding Nemo with my friend Rob, who's one of our partners on our team. And I just said, hey, man, I think I'm going to get my real estate license, right? Like everybody else does. So I did, and he got along with me. And then Sarah got hers a month after. And we just said, let's just dabble. Let's see what happens. And everybody that we worked with was selling homes and buying homes, and they ended up just using us. So, I mean, we crushed our sphere the first year. It was insane. They just trusted us because we also told them, like, we're going to figure this out. We don't know what we're doing yet, but we're going to figure it out. We had good mentors. We had good training. So, yeah, I mean, that's our story leading up to where we are now. We stopped performing 3 years ago. So I did it both for 2 years. I was still an actor and I would do real estate. It was by day I would be an actor and by night real estate, or vice versa. I don't know. I did it.
You're
I've
like
worked all the
you're
time.
the Batman of
Right.
real estate. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 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 Yeah.
I love it, man. Well, so that makes me think, man. I can only imagine because my wife is actually super big in theater as well. She got like a theater scholarship.
Oh,
I know
cool.
she dreams of getting to where you were, like having the Broadway plays and even going to Disney. Like she definitely has that dream. But she ended up, like many of us, going into the business world. But her personality is theater. Like you can feel it on certain people, and
Right. Right. Right.
so to me, she's been so successful in business so far herself. And I know a lot of that has to do with the traits and skills she learned growing up in the theater. And so
For
how does
sure.
that correlate with you? Is there certain things you feel like you've learned? You went into selling real estate. So did it help you in your sales process? Like how does theater and acting help you?
Yeah, for sure. I I mean, I think ultimately as an actor, we're taught to listen and react. So in sales, the best salesman, and I've studied both acting and the best salesman in the world, and it's listening and reacting. To listen to a problem and problem solve, to react. I mean, it's the yes and thing when you're in an improv. I wasn't a huge improver, but you definitely do the yes and to do that. So that helps a lot too. And also, I mean, when you're an actor, you're running your own business. You go to auditions, you do a show, you network. You're basically selling yourself. Everybody's good. Once you get to New York, everybody can sing, everybody can dance, everybody can act. But why do they want to work with you? It's because they trust you, they know you, they like you. Which that's the exact same thing in real estate. I didn't know that getting into it. When I started studying and getting better at it and learning the scripts that I already knew, that became really vital. I was already good at it. I had no idea that I built these skill sets up for 20 years that were so valuable in another career.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because you kind of nailed that there, saying like when you go to New York, like that's a whole different ball game. And you're talking about the major leagues of theater,
Right.
and everyone's talented. everyone's good.
Mhm.
There's people that you got parts over that were better than you, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%.
And it
100%.
ties into relationships and being able to build trust and show that, all of that, so that correlates very well with sales. But then I think also what helps you is that you do a ton of video content and your YouTube channel is awesome.
Thanks,
So
man.
did that just was that like a natural progression?
Yeah, for sure. So I always say, as an actor, you'd walk into the room an audition, and the people in charge were basically asking you, how are you different? Why should we hire you? What makes you special? And I say, when I got into real estate, it was awesome, but I was kind of taught, here's the one way to sell real estate, call FISBOs, door knock, circle prospect, which works for a lot of agents. For me, it just didn't feel, I wasn't excited about it. And without passion, I'm not going to be successful. So I was like, how do I get excited about doing this? So create with my creativity background, I just thought, well, I'll just do a video and perform. I'll just play myself, So every time we had a listing, I did a video, and it wasn't a basic video. I would have a small script, but I would just let the videographer hit record, and I would just talk. You know what I mean? I would just explain and sell the product that I was selling. And that became, I was energized by that because I was still tapping into my creativity, which is, again, it brings the passion. Sellers were loving it. I would put it on social media, on Facebook. My sphere was loving it. People that didn't know us would be like, oh, there was one guy, I think I did like hammer FISBOs my second year. And I remember I ended up booking this one guy because he called me. He's like, hey, can you come look at this house and see what my value is? I had no idea who he was. He just found me online. I said, yeah. So I went and looked, and he was trying to sell it on his own. He's like, and I said, oh, I can sell it for you. He said, only if you do a video for me, one of your videos. I was like, how'd you find that, man? I had no idea. So,
Isn't
so
it
yeah, I
crazy?
mean,
It's crazy.
it is crazy, man. Like it's crazy how many people can see what you're doing by just putting it on social media or on the internet or on your website. But yeah, that's definitely like, it was obviously a natural move for me to start doing video. And now a lot of our agents all do it. Even if they're not former performers, we have a nice system in place to teach them and how to talk and what to say.
Yep, and what's super cool now, I mean, joined us at Dippidi. We're working with you, and I think something that's super cool and valuable that we offer is like you have that ability to upload and have ad requests. So all this video
Oh
content
yeah.
you're creating, the listing promotions, everything, you can just submit to us simply, and our team goes at bat for you, helps you with the copy, helps you with the headlines, the targeting, the budget, everything, and sends it out there so that way it can get in front of one, new people, but then two, remarketing your visitors that went to your website and your database, your sphere, everything, so it stays in
Yeah,
front of
that
them.
and that to me is the most important thing, is the remarketing. The people that already know you and like you, trust you, whether they don't need to buy or sell right now. I do think that real estate is an entertainment business. That's why all those shows are so popular. HGTV is one of the top, you know, channels in the world because it's entertainment. So if I'm going to make a listing video, if it's entertaining, I do want the people not in the market to see it because they'll have fun. They'll watch it and they'll remember me top of mind, right? So it's so important now that I can send it to you guys. I used to do it all myself, and now I can just send it to you guys. Boom, take care of it. Let my people see it, and then move on. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, good, man, good. Yeah, no, I'm happy to hear that. So, it makes me think though, like, do you implement because your team's now in Orlando, Nashville, Louisville. Did I say that right? I know there's a certain way you have to say Louisville. Is it
Jacksonville.
is it Lou
Louis, oh yeah,
Lou Lou
well, my wife's from there. I think it's Louisville. Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah, yeah,
I got
yeah,
it,
yeah.
I
You have
got
to
it.
swallow it, man.
So so, you're in 3 different markets. Do you do
Jacksonville too.
anything
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville as well? Okay, got you. So
Uh-huh.
so do you
And
do anything with those teams where you teach them, like, any kind of acting into sales, or, like, what do you do for them like that?
a little. I mean, the way it's all set up is that I have somebody in each market that is established real estate agent, and they're in Nashville and Louisville and in New York. Actually, we're in New York. I have people that I knew in my previous life, so in my acting life. So my buddy Steve is up in Nashville, and we did a show together at Busch Gardens in Tampa 20 years ago. So he went on to do Rockapella, and he's done a bunch of stuff. He's in real estate now, so he's my guy in Nashville, and he's building a team out there. Jennifer in Louisville, she used to own a dance studio, so she has the entertainment background as well. Now Jacksonville, They're all new. They've never been performers. So I've been coaching them and teaching them how to do video. They've done some listing videos and they're great. They're awesome. So we just have a system in place. So I'll coach them and tell them what to do. But you can make it super simple. You don't have to walk through the house and talk for 40 minutes. You can just do a nice intro, a nice outro, call it a day and be personable. That's it.
Got you, got you. Would you say
Yeah, yeah.
that you definitely like coach and stress the importance of video to everybody on your team that joins your teams?
I do. I don't want anybody to go on that's incredibly uncomfortable. We don't make it mandatory. You know what I mean? If somebody's going to go on there and just hate it, that defeats the purpose as well. But our brand and our team kind of attract the ones that want to do it, that are excited about doing it. They probably saw one of our videos. In fact, we've had a couple agents that saw us and reached out to us wanting to join the team. So it's encouraged, but it's not mandatory. But to be honest, man, I love when they just do their own thing. Like a lot of our agents have had experience on stage or in front of a camera. So when I get the video delivered, I had nothing to do with it. I covered the cost of it, but it's that excites me more than actually coaching them, because it lets them be authentic. Even if it's not how I would do it, it's way different. And that's what's so great about it.
Gotcha, gotcha. That makes sense,
Yeah.
man. So, would you recommend though for agents like that are maybe new agents or even ones that are trying to get polished up in some sort of sales, like, just enhancing their sales skills? Like, would you say that they should probably like consider joining like an improv class or anything like that?
I think so. If they've never done anything like that, to definitely get to become yourself in front of a camera or in front of a group of people is, I think, is pretty important. Improv classes, they're a little uncomfortable. I've taken a lot of them, but that's the point. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to go and you're not going to join Second City. But yeah, if you're an agent that's never been in front of the camera or a little anxious about speaking, then some sort of public speaking or improv class, I think, would totally help. Or if you have a team, do improv. There's so many improv games. There's so many improv games. There's one that's super simple. You just do the question game. You just answer every answer with a question, and you just do it for a minute. It'll be
Yeah.
crazy to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm actually me and our sales executive Hunter, we're in like a sales training that we do
Hmm.
every week. It's
Yeah.
with Sandler Foundations. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. But like sometimes I feel like I'm either in therapy or improv when I'm in this I'm in this
Right.
like sales class.
Right.
I'm
Right.
like, this
Right.
is insane. Like they dig deep, but they make you uncomfortable and they make you like really collaborate, and it really helps. I
Yeah, I
think a
mean,
lot of my
the more authentic you are in a camera situation, and again, you're just talking to somebody. I'm looking at this lens right now like I'm talking to a person, because I am. So if you're doing a video, it's the same thing. So many agents can sit down across from a seller or a buyer and be super authentic, tell the story, why you should use me. This is the process, and they're awesome at it. And then you put a camera in front of them and they freeze. It's the same conversation. You know what I mean? So it's all practice. They've been working on scripts for their whole career. It's just a script. And you're just talking to
yep.
somebody else. It's just a different face. That's it.
Yep, yep. See, so like with me personally, like I feel like I'm comfortable in front of a camera at this point because I have a music background. So like whenever I
Right.
was recording music, I was trying to be the next rapper, right? Like I was trying to be a recording artist.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I tried super hard from 14 to about 23 years old. I went really
Sure.
hard at it. I opened up
Yeah.
for people. I sold my music, but that helped me get comfortable. And some of the things that I would do is I would study a lot of artists, and those artists, one of them said something that I thought was really, really interesting. And it was that when you're speaking to a camera, don't think of it like a lot of people get anxious and they start thinking about all the people they're talking to, and they
Yep.
actually like can't find themselves. And so sometimes it makes it best when you're speaking to a camera, your camera is your best friend. So think of the
That's
person
awesome.
closest to you that you speak to and you enjoy talking to, and that's who you're speaking to. That's your audience. Because
Right.
they try to teach authenticity in video right now, and that is so broad. That is so hard for people to go, okay, yeah, it's easier said than done to be authentic, but how do I be authentic? And it's so simple as like the camera is your homie, it's your best friend, it's
Right.
your
Right.
wife, it's your buddy you go golfing with, it's your buddy you go do anything with, right? And that makes it so much easier for you to be yourself on a camera.
Oh, 100%. That's a great analogy because it is. Even sometimes I'll do a video and I'll be a little too present. I'll feel it and I'll be like, that was way too presentational. And that's where it kind of comes across fake or not as real. But if you just talk normal, look at the camera, again, picture whatever you want to picture, you'll be super real and authentic. It's just a conversation. That's it.
Yep, absolutely, man. I love it. I love it. So like, so what personality traits do you feel like that you developed though through theater? Like, were you taught this? Are you a natural? Like, how did this all unfold?
I mean, no, I played sports my whole life until I was 17, 16 or 17. And I was maybe mediocre, maybe at sport. I love watching sports, but I was not good. I just was,
Y-
I was always in the right place. I just wasn't strong or fast or quick or smart. So I did a show my junior year of high school and I was naturally good at it. I don't know why. And then my senior year, I did another one and I was really good at it. I mean, for a high school kid, and that I went to New York to go to a conservatory for theater, and then I just became. I mean, I worked really hard. When I get really excited about something, I go like most hard workers, just ride all the way in. So I definitely studied as much as I could, and I practiced all the time, and I rehearsed all the time. I made sure I wanted to be the best of the best, and I got to a good level on that. So that definitely instilled a work ethic. I would work with some of the most talented people in the world, in the theater world, and watching how they work and how they prepare was is mind blowing. It's the same as probably watching a professional athlete. You know what I mean? Just because when they walk on stage for thousands of people and they win awards, they're that good. It looks really easy. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. Is when somebody crushes a home run in baseball, you're like, man, that looks so easy. Well, you didn't see the weight training. You didn't see the 5,000 pitches they took. You didn't see an actor rehearse their lines in their apartment for 2 days straight. You know what I mean? So I definitely got that work ethic. So now into real estate, I have that same work ethic. So I'll make the phone calls. I'll talk to the people. I'll watch the numbers. You know, I'm a big stats guy too with sports. So I look at all those numbers and I always research the new thing that's coming out. Not the shiny new thing, but the thing that can like elevate my business or give me an edge. But yeah, that's probably what
Yeah.
I for sure learned from the acting world.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, no, I mean, I always I call it the Lego blocks of life, man. Like, no, you always
Yeah,
learn something, and
for
so
sure.
it's cool to see the segue of like I just talked to Andy Dane Carter. I'm not sure if you know him, but I'm doing an episode
Mm,
with him. It's coming out here soon, and his he started as an investor actually, and then he segued into becoming an agent. And
right.
everything he learned as an investor first just translated into becoming an agent. Where
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that his knowledge is probably powerful. That's insane. Well, it's funny because in real estate, nobody graduates high school and says, I mean, maybe every once in a while, but I haven't met any that say, I want to be a real estate agent. You know what I mean? Even though they probably should. It's a great career. It's really good. I wish I would have when I was younger. So everybody has basically one or two careers before they did real estate. And a lot of people don't understand how many skill sets they developed in those one or two careers prior to getting a real estate license. They just, you know what I mean? So it's fascinating to talk to other people. And I say that now when I train new agents, I'm like, what were you good at when you were an accountant? Or what were you good at when we have a new girl on our team that ran a tech business? I'm like, you're tech, like use the tech. Let's go. You're good at it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, you automate all this. We'll just all go to the
Yeah.
beach. Like,
Yeah. You teach
yeah.
me. Right.
Yeah, no, it makes me think of myself actually. And I'm like, how do what happened with me was music helped me build my creativity, audio, video, comfort and public speaking. But then I actually went to corporate America and worked for a large shoot, I think they're like a Fortune 100, Fortune 500 company. And I got so much structure there and I learned a lot about systems and processes there that have helped me
Right.
so
So now
much
you've
when it came
merged.
to
Now you've
building
merged
this
your
business.
creativity and your productivity. That's kind of with me with Disney, working for Disney, I mean, customer service is where they're at, right? So watching that unfold, that was gold as well. So coming from an actor and for corporate, I mean, you can't get better than that, you know?
No, no, you can't, man. You can't. Well, shoot, man. I appreciate you jumping on with me. I appreciate you taking the time. If there's anything that you feel like an agent could do right now that would just be like that one thing to get them more comfortable to getting either on video, or just that one thing that maybe they should try to focus on to level up, what would it be right now?
I would just say if you're going to do video, to be honest, right now it's saturated. A lot of people are doing video now, and my belief is you have to be extremely prepared. As much as you just want to turn everybody says just turn the camera on and talk. A video is a video, and that does hold a lot of weight, and that is important. But I think the more you're prepared of what you're going to say and the value you're going to bring to that video. There's so much, like if you YouTube how to buy a house right now, it is insane. So why is your video going to be the best? It's because of what you're saying, not necessarily like the cool lights, the cool camera. It's what you're saying and the value you're doing. So prepare as if you were going into a listing appointment or a buyer appointment. Prepare that script and that video just as strong as you were doing a CMA. You know what I mean? That's the
Love that.
advice I would give. Yeah.
I love that, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. I think that
Yeah.
was really good advice, especially because, like you just said, it's saturated. And it, like you said, it's not about the lights and just turning on the camera. I think, like you said, it carries weight, but it's about what you're actually saying and giving that can carry the weight. So I
Yep.
love that. Dude,
Awesome.
thanks for being a homie. Thank you.
Thanks for you being a homie, man. I appreciate it. I love Dippity. You guys are awesome. Thanks for everything you guys do for us.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, buddy.
See ya.